Welcome to Iron Arrows. We've got a lot of snow outside, so what we're going to do today is show you how to make biscuits. So, we've assembled all the ingredients, and now you watch this demonstration.
Alrighty, so we like to use whole wheat flour that we grind. So this is about a cup and a quarter, of soft whole wheat flour. Soft whole wheat flour is good for quick breads and things that you don't need yeast on. Cakes, quick breads, cookies. This is a cup and a quarter of all-purpose store-bought organic flour. That makes it a little fluffier because the bran has been taken out. So this is 2.5 cups of flour total. We are going to mix in a tablespoon of baking powder. Just mix that around. 3/4 teaspoon to a teaspoon of salt. Just incorporate that so that you don't get any salty spots. We're going to kind of make buttermilk, so I have a cup of whole raw organic milk with a splash of apple cider vinegar. This is going to be fun because that will react with my baking soda that I'm going to put in here. Half a teaspoon. This is a teaspoon, so we'll eyeball it and do about a teaspoon of baking soda. I don't like the taste of baking soda, so I try not to ever overdo it because I don't like the taste of it. So I err on the side of less baking soda as long as there's some in there. And then 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar. So we call these sugar biscuits. They're kind of like between sugar biscuits, or between sugar cookies and regular biscuits. So we have that mixed in. Now we have a stick of organic butter. This is salted sweet cream butter, lightly salted, but you could use unsalted and increase the salt a little bit, probably. So mix that in. You can use like what's it called? A thing to cut in the butter. Anyway, and then some pretend buttermilk. Woo, yummy! These are going to be good because there's a lot of fat in them from that yummy whole milk, raw whole milk. With the cream left in, and then I just shook it, so it's pretty creamy. It's almost like half and half. A lot of times I ended up doing this with my hands, but let's see. While we're doing this, Ryan, if you want to come over here and put the ghee in the pan. We have some homemade clarified butter or ghee. I just boiled down some unsalted butter. We'll put that in the cast iron pan, a spoonful. Just for it's nice high temperature. It's like a high temperature butter. So I like to use that as the base in my cast iron pan, so it doesn't burn or anything. So we'll turn it on. Turn on high for a second and bring it down to a medium. Whoops. Don't mind the toddler making noise. It's life. Can't redo this video because the ingredients are already in there and it's all good. It's going to be yummy. Ever since we started making biscuits from scratch about 2 months ago, I would say we make them 3 times a week because you don't need to wait for yeast to rise. I used to make bread all the time, but quick biscuits with some baking powder, it's awesome. And you don't need eggs. Our chickens have been finicky and not laying that many eggs, so we're like, fine, we'll make biscuits instead of pancakes and stuff like that we used to eat a lot of. So. And by using coconut sugar, it's a little bit healthier for you, and a little bit of fresh whole grain flour fresh whole grain flour is good because the vitamins are still in there. It hasn't been sitting on a shelf forever, already ground up, because the store-bought flour tends to go bad a lot quicker. So the vitamins are still kept in there. So roll it out on your counter. Sometimes it looks a little more floury, but this will be just fine as long as it doesn't stick too badly to your hands. Then it'll work pretty well. So just go ahead and I just do this to make it quicker. Throw them in the pan and then make sure you have a lid. That way the heat can stay in there. More like an oven. It's probably work out pretty well on a wood stove too. We hope to eventually get a wood stove, and we'll show you that when we get that. You hear them sizzling. And depending on the size, this can make anywhere from 8 to 10 biscuits, I would say. Probably 9 to 12. You can actually put them in a little bit closer too. Usually I do a pan and a half. I end up with a pan and a half. But these are going to be big. So press them down a little. And let them go for just a few minutes. Wash my hands. Hey, Mommy. Nothing like a little butter on your hands. A little moisturizer. Make sure you have a lot of butter in this recipe. Don't try to cut, half the butter out or anything, because then they end up dry. And it's more like a roll, which I guess is fine, but it's good. So I have like a little metal spatula ready to go to flip them. Turn up to medium high. I'm trying to do this quickly because we're on video. We don't know how to edit yet. We made some yummy hot cocoa this morning. So we mixed together some cocoa powder, some sugar, some cinnamon, some coconut sugar, and a little bit of milk and water, and we had some hot cocoa. That was yummy.
Let's let it go.
We'll post part 2 of this video so we can check in when they're done.